It's been a while. It's been a while. Hey guys, I'm Steele and welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't uploaded in a few weeks, but that's just because holidays and things have been kind of crazy, busy, but so much fun. I traveled to South Carolina with my sister and her family. It was so beautiful, so romantic. We saw some of the filming sites of The Notebook, and that was so cool. Now I am finally home in front of my vanity with my whole makeup collection. I'm not living in a makeup bag anymore, although in today's video, I will be living in another makeup bag. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I mentioned that I am doing a new beginner series. Today is the first video of that series, and it is a beginner starter makeup bag. All of these products will be drugstore. All of these products will be cruelty free, so they are not tested on animals. A lot of these products are my go-to products. I highly recommend them, and I wish someone did this video with these exact same products when I started to get into makeup. I will be creating this look with the products that are in my starter makeup bag, so let's get into it. First thing I'm gonna pick out is my primer, and this drugstore primer is by Soap & Glory. It's called One Heck of a Blot. I like this for filling in my pores, and it mattifies the areas that I want to stay matte. So I'm just rubbing that in between my fingers and really just rubbing this in my T-zone area. Next, I really like to spray my face with a nourishing, rejuvenating facial spray. The one I want to use in today's video is Pixi by Petra, and it's the Hydrating Milky Mist. This stuff is awesome. I love it. The name is kind of weird. It smells so good. It feels so good. I love how fine the mist is with this. Her foundation, the Healthy Foundation by Physicians Formula. This is such a good foundation, especially for beginners, because it's almost foolproof. Such a great natural looking finish on its own. I am going to mix a little bit of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation with it. This is also a great drugstore and cruelty free foundation. I'm going to mix this in a little bit just to lighten up this shade a bit. This is the lightest shade, which is not very light to me. They can definitely expand their range lighter and darker. So I'm mixing some of that Wet n Wild foundation. This is in the shade Nude Ivory, and I'm gonna put this more in the center of my face. This is just a tad bit lighter than the Physicians Formula foundation. I'm using the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Using a beauty sponge to apply especially liquid products on your face is amazing for blending it out, but also soaking up any sort of extra product on your face. So there's really no possible way for you to look like a cake face with a beauty sponge. I always bring foundation down my neck and blend it out, just because you don't want that discoloration line on your jaw. Even when I'm wearing a foundation that seems to match me perfectly, I still always blend it down to my neck. I have two concealers that I love to use. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I have mine in the shade C3, and the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer, I get mine in the shade Porcelain. When I do my everyday makeup, I prime my eyelids with concealer, just because I know for an everyday eye look that I do, it's usually one or two shades. I'm not crazy with it. When I know I'm gonna be doing like full on eyeshadow, full on glam, then I will prime my eyes with a good, usually high-end eye primer. In with that same beauty sponge and gently pressing this in. I'm gonna do a little bit of cream contouring today. If you don't really know the concept of contouring, highlighting, baking, don't worry, because I will be including a how-to video as a part of this beginner series. I will be showing you how I cream contour today, but I will be going more in depth and more about technique in that how-to video. This part is always fun to me. It's kind of like just drawing on your face. I blend out my cream contour with a really compact buffer brush. It's just faster than blending it out with my beauty sponge. gosh, I love contour. It's magic being performed on your face. Sometimes I do get a little excited with my contour. So I just take some of that concealer and draw a line where I don't want my contour to go down to. In this part, I do take my beauty sponge and blend this down. Just so it's kind of like, if you don't like the super sharp line, that's okay. You can also bring up your beauty sponge a little bit to blend that line out. Now for powder. I'm powdering my face with the Milani Loose Translucent Powder. I do prefer loose powders over compact. I guess I kind of bake. A lot of the times I go in right in with my sponge and tap it right underneath my eyes. I just blend it in. I just set my eyes. I just blend it in. I'm not like putting powder on and wiping it away. I mostly do my T-zone area just because, again, that is where my oils poke through the most. Wherever you have oils, that's where you definitely want to powder down. And any leftover powder that's on my sponge, I like to just bring it out a little bit towards the outside of my face, just slightly setting that cream contour that we did. One of my all-time absolute favorite products out of my whole makeup collection. This has got to be one of my top 3 favorites. It is such a good bronzer, you guys. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I feel like I don't even have to say it though, because y'all already know. And I love to apply this with my BH Cosmetics brush number 2 from the Crystal Quartz collection. It's just the perfect shape, the perfect density. It's just so soft. Oh gosh. I also always put bronzer down along my jawline and my neck, just so that my face and my neck really just go together. Don't forget to put bronzer on the edges outside of your forehead. I'm taking a fluffy face brush and gently blend over this bronzer, and this just ensures that everything is smooth as can be. It's all blended in. There's absolutely no harsh lines. I think this step makes such a big difference. This side is still beautiful and well put together. I just think adding that extra blending step into your routine really makes a world of difference. If you want to avoid the tiger stripes on your face, this step is really gonna help you out a ton. All right, for blush, I'm going in with my Milani Baked Blush. This is in the shade Berry Amore. Milani Baked Blushes are probably the best blushes you can find in the drugstore. I'm just kind of dabbling that on my cheekbone, and I'm also bringing the blush back towards my hairline. You guys, I am loving my face. That sounds so narcissistic, but this combo, I can never get enough of it. They create magic when they are put together. For brows, I use the e.l.f. brow pencil in the shade Taupe. This is, I think, probably one of the most affordable brow pencils you can get, which is amazing because I go through them so fast, but they're also so dang good. So I'm gonna kind of just zip through this part. I can definitely do an in-depth brow tutorial for you if you would like. It's just, brows to me are just kind of boring to watch. So basically, I like to focus on filling in the tail of my brow because that's where it needs it the most. And I really like to keep this inner part as natural as I can. I'm just gonna show you some of my basic eyeshadow brushes that I can't do my eyeshadow without. The first one being a big fluffy crease brush. Probably this is the most important brush in my routine because it's always the brush I use first, and it might be the only brush I use in my whole routine. I use this to apply my transition shade or my crease shade, and I use it to just blow it out. This brush is what makes eyeshadow look blended and smooth. Out of all the brushes I'm about to show you, this is the one you absolutely need if you want to start doing your makeup. This is also a fluffy crease brush. It's just a little bit smaller. This one I use to pack on a darker shade just right in my crease. I don't blow it out as much. Next one I use is a very tiny pencil brush. This is when you're dealing more with detailed work. So I use this to pack more really dark shades in my outer corner if I want to start to smudge out liner or a darker shade on my lash line. I use this to apply shadow on my lower lash line. So these three I would definitely get as my first eyeshadow brushes if you're just starting to get into makeup. I do have 3 more brushes to show you though. This one is a flat definer brush. I like this to smudge darker colors right on my lash line just so that it's very, very precise. This one is an angled definer brush. This I love to use when I'm applying an eyeshadow wing or I'm applying concealer for a wing. And the last brush I love to use is for my cut creases. I just put some concealer on there and I carve out my eyelid super fast. That is what I usually use this for. I also use this to clean up messed up winged eyeliner if it's a little smudgy. I like to take this, add some concealer, and just whoop and clean up that wing. An amazing, amazing eyeshadow to start off with is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe eyeshadow palette. If you have this palette, you can create any single look you'd like. A simple day look, a sultry, sexy night look, a detailed cut crease, you can do halo eyes, you can do absolutely everything from this palette. I'm first going to go in with the shade Silk Cream. Taking this shade on that first fluffy brush I showed you, I'm softly applying this right in my crease. Just doing that creates a little definition, and that's honestly one of my favorite things to do is just that and call it a day. I'm also taking that Silk Cream shade on this same big fluffy brush, and I actually run this along my lower lash line. This step is probably my favorite step because it's so simple, but it's the most dramatic. Because it just automatically pronounces your eye bag, like when you smile in that line, that little eye bag. It really just pronounces it in a softer way, so this automatically makes your eyes look just more big and more flattering. I used to be really scared to do this step, but just use a lighter, more natural shade to your skin tone, and it will work in your favor, I promise. Just try it out and see what you think. If you don't like it, there's always makeup wipes, face wash, just erase your mistake. That's the beauty of makeup. Silk Cream and Puder are probably my favorite shades of this entire palette. I'm taking that slightly smaller fluffy crease brush. Slowly build up that pigment just to create, again, a little bit more definition. I'll also bring this down again on my lower lash line. To add a little bit of highlight, I'm going to go in with the shade in Light. Pop this in my inner corner, right against my brow bone. Do a little bit of cheek highlight with that shade as well. This is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. You guys, this is such a good highlighting palette. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's almost like too much for me though. I am definitely more of a natural highlighty girl, so I'm just gonna kind of whisk some of that away with this fluffy brush. For eyeliner, this is the best eyeliner I've ever worn in my life. It's the Physicians Formula Ultra Precise Eyeliner in Ultra Black. I usually start in my inner corner and draw across my eyelid. Before I add mascara and lashes, I'm going to actually set my face. I like to set my face first because a lot of the times the mascara flakes and runs down onto my cheeks, and that just makes me so mad. So I like to avoid it at all costs, and I always use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I'm using the Killer Curves mascara from Physicians Formula. This is one of my favorite mascaras, and it's Drugstore. So of course I'm including it in my beginner makeup bag. For falsies, I'm wearing the Ardell Wispies. I do prefer the Demi Wispies just because they look more natural to me. And for the lash glue, I'm just using some Duo White to Clear lash glue. And last but not least, I'm just going to put on my favorite chapstick. It's by Ecolips and it's the Mango Kiss and Vanilla Honey. This chapstick is my favorite. My lips never feel chapped or drenched after I have this on. I love how it gives my lips a little shine and gloss effect to them. Alright guys, my beginner makeup bag is officially empty. We used all the products that I highly recommend anyone who wants to start into makeup. They are all drugstore, so they are all affordable, and they are all cruelty-free. Cruelty-free, not tested on animals. That is it for today's video. I'm so excited to be starting this beginner series, and I hope today's video was helpful in letting you know what products to get started. If you have not subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that bell notification button just so that you are notified every single time I upload, especially with these new beginner series videos popping out. I really don't want you to miss any of them. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah!